She crossed her legs slowly, like she'd rehearsed it 100 times. "I'm the CEO of this company now," she said, smiling with the practiced ease of a politician. Then she slid a white envelope across my father's old mahogany desk. "If you don't agree, here are your divorce papers." I stared at her, the woman I'd loved for 10 years, married for 7. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because Emma had no idea she'd already lost the war she was starting. We met in college. I was the quiet heir to a legacy stitched from sweat and ambition. She was a bold outsider in a borrowed dress, all charm and fire. I liked that she didn't care about money, or so I believed. We fell fast. Loud. Careless. My parents adored her. She called my father Pop. Hugged my mother like she'd known her forever. She fit, or so I thought. Their plane went down over the Rockies. Quick death, long ache. Closed caskets, open wounds. At the will reading, she held my hand, solemn, silent. Everything was in my name. Company shares, real estate, even the lake house in Vermont. That night, she kissed me like nothing had changed. But 4 months earlier, she'd already begun forging my father's signature. I found out a week later. My father's lawyer flagged a minor inconsistency, barely noticeable. But my father had been paranoid in all the right ways. I dug, and the deeper I went, the colder I became. Emma had been siphoning funds, transferring shares, falsifying documents, some signed while my parents' bodies were still warm. She was working with Martin Keller, my father's COO. Slick hair, plastic smile. They were methodical, careful. They almost got away with it. If I had still been the boy who loved her, they would have. But I didn't confront her. Not then. I played my part, smiling over dinner, brushing her hair from her face, holding her like I was still grieving. But I saw everything. I replaced her assistant with Monica, military-trained, discreet, loyal. She planted trackers in Emma's phone, laptop, car. I watched every meeting, heard every whisper, studied every file exchanged under the table. They planned to oust me, forge a board vote, claim I'd broken under grief. Keller would assume control. Emma would take the title, widow turned phoenix. It would have been a good headline. So I gave them what they needed. Missed meetings. Foggy numbers. Unstable behavior. I let them believe it. I played right up to the edge. And then I started sawing the bridge behind them. I quietly bought back shares through a shell company in Singapore. Fed Emma false leads, bad investments, fake partnerships. Every time she bit, the company took a hit. Meanwhile, I let Keller discover emails between her and a fabricated lover. Doubts set in. Cracks formed. 2 weeks before the vote, I staged a breakdown. Shouted in a meeting, ripped off my tie, stormed out. That night, Emma comforted me like she'd won. She had no idea I'd already triggered the trap. And now here we were. Her in my father's chair. That envelope on the desk wasn't a request. It was an ultimatum. A declaration. I picked it up, tore it in half, and let the pieces fall to the floor. "You practiced that line?" I asked. She smiled again. "Don't make this messy, Michael." I walked to the window, stared out at the city my family built deal by deal, brick by brick. "I won't," I said. "You already did." I turned back. "Let me ask you something, Emma. When you transferred those shares, did you read the fine print?" She blinked, confused. "The first crack in the porcelain. You missed the poison pill clause, didn't you?" I reached into my coat and pulled out a document. Tossed it on the desk. "Signed by the board this morning. You're out. Unanimous vote. Effective immediately." She stood, eyes wide. "You can't do that." "I can." "I did. The shares you forged. Invalid. The board knows everything. Keller confessed yesterday. Full immunity in exchange for the truth." I stepped closer. "You wanted the name. The legacy. The bloodline. But you forgot one thing. This company isn't a crown. It's a spine. And when someone tries to break your spine, you don't bend." Monica entered with the security team, silent and precise. "You have 5 minutes to pack," I said. "After that, you leave. If you come back, we'll press charges." Emma searched for words, but none came. Just that perfect smile, cracked and crumbling. Cleaning up took time. Keller vanished into corporate obscurity. Emma went back to her maiden name, tried to rewrite her story. But the industry doesn't forget. I rebuilt, Not just the numbers, but the soul. My parents' soul. Sometimes I walk into that office, look at the chair she once claimed. Her perfume is long gone, but the scar remains. She thought the company was my crown. She never understood. It was my spine.